provides International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We're
5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Playoffs? Or is that playoffs? No Kawhi, no problem. No Giannis, no problem. It's amazing how it goes sometimes. All those don't know Zion, there's a problem. Zion might have made a difference. Joel Embiid. What's up? Merry Monday. Playoffs are underway. It is draft week, and there is a ton to do. Us and you, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. How you living?
What it do?
Thanks for letting me back in the door, man.
Thanks for coming back.
Glad the code worked. Glad I was able to sign on. A couple of, there's always a few little things when you get back after being gone for a minute. But sounds like you had a good week. And we should have a huge week in front of us, huh? With the playoffs, the draft, and everything that's going on. Lobo's got a new guard, new to them. Anyway, we got a new guy. Well, is it like getting a new car with these like low mileage? It's
absolutely
not right. It's not brand new, but it's
still exciting.
Yeah,
but you know it works.
CJ Nolan's going to come in and be that guy, be the big guard, come in from North Texas. We played in the American and was good. So we got a ton to do. Let me set the stage for you. 505-246-0610. That's how to get here. That's the Sports Animals phone line, and it's the text line. You can just send emails. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ's on the Twitter. It's _JJ Buck, and on the Facebook you can watch the show. The OD and the AM. Adrian's produced in there, and you can watch it all right there. Where do I start, man? I mean, because I look at it all. It's got to be the playoffs, right?
Yes.
Of all of the games, and I think all the home teams have still won everything, right? I don't think a road team has won yet. Oklahoma City got pushed last night, but they won last night. Milwaukee won at home. Clippers won at home. Boston won at home. And if you go back to Saturday, Cleveland, Minnesota, the Knicks, and Denver, right? It's been all home teams, right? 8-0 so far.
Home court.
Home court matters sometimes. Not in hockey.
Well,
usually,
every home team won this weekend in the NHL playoffs.
I said usually. Yeah. No, I know. So far. Let's hope that ends tonight. Avalanche, boy, how about that? 7-6?
They gave up 7 goals on 23 shots.
7 goals.
23 shots, that's it.
7 goals like a week's worth. I know. Pick a game. Where do you want to start? Like, which one of all of them? Whether you can go back to Saturday. Cleveland, Orlando, Minnesota, Phoenix, where Anthony Edwards was spectacular. The Knicks coming back and winning. The Nuggets. You can pick any of those. Or
the Nuggets-Lakers game is fantastic to talk about. The biggest surprise to me was Milwaukee. I did not think they were going to boat race the Pacers.
The way they
liked
did.
the Pacers in this series. I thought it was going to be up and down, and there was going to be plenty of points scored, but I didn't think you'd look at the Pacers being that flat. And Damian Lillard, we know he's this guy. You know he can do this because he's done it at times in Portland. 35 first half points.
Yep.
And the Pacers did not look like they belonged on the same floor as Milwaukee.
No, that was, by the way, wasn't that the Pacers who went to the finals of the play-in tournament? The play-in tournament. Didn't they get to the finals of the play-in?
Beat this Milwaukee Bucks team 4 out of 5 times in regular season.
That's what Doc Rivers was saying going into this whole thing. Was this is a team that's owned us? Doc Rivers, the coach of the Bucks, and saying that they got our attention. And I think most of us and probably you thought that this was going to be a lot closer without Giannis Antetokounmpo going in. And it was about Dame Lillard last night. Or yesterday afternoon. It was about him and the rest of that club. And, I think people find out about dudes in the playoffs. And Dame Lillard said after the game, I watched Chris Middleton for years. And Chris Middleton was really good yesterday. Chris Middleton had 23 points and 10 rebounds as he's shifted his role from a number 2 to a number 3. Bobby Portis had 11 rebounds last night. Played really well. They like you look at their turnovers, they turned it over 10 times, but I thought defensively they were good. I expect it to be better. And I think this is one of those things, and I know you and I have talked about this a million times over the years. First go, younger teams early in the playoffs tend to show that they're young teams early in the playoffs. Does that make sense? Oklahoma City almost did last night, right? You were worried about Oklahoma City as a 1 seed, although, man, New Orleans just kept throwing punches and throwing punches and throwing punches at them. Indiana looked like a young team. Pascal Siakam has been there, but then you get through it where, Tyrese Halliburton hasn't, and where the rest of them been is Miles Turner. What has he done in the playoffs? And they almost look like a young, I expect it to get tighter, don't you? Especially if Giannis doesn't come back. But they kind of look like a young team playing in the playoffs with us.
They do, and that theory is always out there, and it's going to be really put to the test, I think, with Oklahoma City being the number 1 seed, but this being their first run with this group. And for the Milwaukee Bucks, it is you take a step back and realize that all the noise, they still hold their 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. They still won a lot of games, even though the record without Giannis wasn't great. It's different in this. It's different in the playoffs because you sit back and go, well, Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton, all those guys you laid out, Bobby Portis, they've won a championship. And Dame Lillard is a proven playoff performer.
That's right.
At a high level. And so, I was just sitting there watching that game in the first half going, I don't think the series is over, but, man, did I underrate the veteran factor with Milwaukee.
Yeah, and that's kind of where you get into now and you say, all right, what are they going to be? Because if they get through what this is 3-6, and so then they would probably get the Knicks in the next round, right? Is that how that goes? It would be, man, why do I feel like I'm missing a round? But yeah, it'd be that then the Knicks, and then probably the Celtics, and they go through. So that's where we are with that one. Oklahoma City last night was really, really intriguing to me. They go so deep and they play so many dudes. And then New Orleans, who kept throwing punches and hitting shots. And I've always been a CJ McCollum fan. He missed the shot at the end of the game. But I've always thought he's really good. Brandon Ingram didn't score a bunch of points. He only shot 5 of 17. They didn't get an outstanding offensive performance from New Orleans, from anybody, really. Zion Williamson didn't play, and they were right there at the end to maybe have a chance to get this thing and steal one in Oklahoma last night. 28 for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is a finalist for MVP. Chet Holmgren was really good defensively with 5 blocks, 15 points, 11 rebounds. And I think people are going to learn. This is the time of year where people learn about players. If you haven't watched them, you're going to learn about Jalen Williams and how good Jalen Williams really, really is. But that was a game, man, that every time you thought Oklahoma City was going to put them away, and as I was dozing off, waking up, right? New Orleans had a punch. That may be a series, that 1-8 series.
You credit New Orleans. They're a team that we all were not on Friday morning.
Right.
Kenny Thomas was sitting there in studio. He's all about his Kings. I thought the way Sacramento played, coming off, ending an era potentially against Golden State, no Zion Williamson, felt like, oh, this was going to be the Kings for sure. And then they're going to go in there against Oklahoma City. And we saw, Sacramento in the playoffs last year, go to 7 games with Golden State. Here we go. Young versus been there, done that. Nope. New Orleans spoiled that party.
And then they almost spoiled it last night. Yeah, I got to believe, and I didn't hear Friday, but I figured that's where that was going, right? And it makes all kinds of sense. So Kenny gets to come in here and eat crow tomorrow?
We're all eating crow.
Yeah.
That was on the show Friday.
Yeah. No, it makes sense, right? It all made sense that the Kings were going to go and win that game. No Zion, the whole thing. Again, this is where you find guys. Joel Embiid went down, returned after an injury. How much can you trust Joel Embiid in that Knicks series? And without Joel Embiid, they're a completely different club. Not much.
60-40. Like he's playing, he's still impactful. Then you have one landing off a dunk, and he could be out a quarter the rest of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's a tough one. I want to go back. You started on the Lakers and Denver. We'll hit all of these. We'll go through because that, and of course it's draft week. But Nuggets trail by 12 in the first half, and then they come back and pretty much have their way. Jokic 32, 12, and 7. Anthony Davis 32, 14, and 5. Oh, pretty much a push, right? Almost a push. It's the rest of it, and the Nuggets I think are just deeper. I'm going to tell you what I thought might be the biggest difference there. Michael Porter Jr. And I didn't know how he was going to play. And I wouldn't have blamed him if he came out and didn't play well. He's got one brother who was suspended by the NBA for the rest of the lifetime ban, right? Is that what Jonte got?
Lifetime ban.
And another brother got sentenced to 20 years in prison, like literally within days. And I always look at the human side of it. How does a dude respond? How would you respond if your siblings were just going through that? And he came out and played pretty well. 19 points on 8 of 15 shooting. He had 8 rebounds and played well. And I was talking to my brother the other day, and he was, Lakers fan. He's like, "No, man, Lakers are going to. I think the Lakers win this. They're going to win the series." I'm like, "What are you talking about? If they win game 1?" Like, yep, they're going to. If they win game 1, they win the series. I said, "Why?" And he was on the Porter thing. He says, "Porter's not going to play well. How can that dude, man? With everything that's going on in his life, how can he?" Unbelievable kudos to him the way he played, dealing with what he's dealing with. Because we watch these guys, we watch them play, and we talk about their shooting percentages, and we talk about they're human beings. That dude's 2 brothers, people that I got to believe he's pretty close to. One just got banned for life from the NBA for a gambling issue we've never seen before. The other one's going to prison for 20 years.
Yeah, it was quite a wild week for the Porter family. And with Michael Porter Jr., what we were discussing leading up into the weekend is I thought he had to be the second best player for the Nuggets at least twice in the series against the Lakers. Because, yes, Denver has won 9 in a row, but nothing is easy about these games. Nothing was easy about their postseason sweep last
No, every
year.
game was close.
Every game is like that. Yeah. And for the Lakers, they ran into some of the same issues as last year. Too much D'Angelo Russell. Even though he's been their offensive X factor, there's a time and place for that. And when you know it's not your game, LeBron James in the second half, Austin Reeves in the second half have to be the offensive initiators because Anthony Davis is going to be able to match Jokic. Like, Anthony Davis is going to get his in this series. And it's what you said. It's who can step up. And for the Nuggets, they probably feel great because of the way they played to come back down 12 in the first half. Listening to them post-game, that Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., those guys feel like they didn't even have a great shooting game. And they won by double digits at home.
It was something. Yes. And you said a lot of D'Angelo Russell. There's a lot of shots by D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell took 20 shots, more than everybody but Anthony Davis. And he only made 6 of them. I got to believe he's going to be better than that. But dang. All right. So much to do. So much to do. 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. Your emails are coming in. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. When we come back, we got a lot of NFL draft to do. There's going to be this. We're going to talk about the Lobos' new guard, and it looks like Jamal Mashburn has decided where he will play. Jamal Mashburn Jr., because I don't think Daddy's playing anymore. But Jamal Mashburn Jr. has decided where he will play next year, and I know you're interested, as you should be. I'll tell you where that is next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
When you have sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain.
Who's that?
That's your new buddy in jail.
I'm
going out, Grandma.
When are you coming home?
I'll be home late. Don't wait up, okay?
Be careful, mijito.
Love you, Grandma.
Mijito, he's a good man. Sometimes he just makes bad decisions. I tell him, mijito, cuidado, be careful. You might hurt someone. He doesn't listen.
Until you stop, okay?
Hello. It's me.
Ay, mijo, where are you?
Dale was drinking and driving. I need you to come and get me, okay? Please, Grandma?
Can you just come and get me?
Leave him in jail.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Sports Animal.
Portal's still open. What's today? The 23rd? 23rd? Another week or so. Sweat this thing out. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Lobos got a commitment over the weekend from a guard, CJ Noland from North Texas. Started his collegiate career at Oklahoma. Was Big 12 all-freshman. 10.9 points last year at North Texas. He'll have 1 year of eligibility left. 6'4", big guard. Feels like a good addition to what they want to do. Guy who can come in, add some size on the perimeter, get you some buckets and defend.
Yeah, right now for the Lobos, what they're looking for in the portal is role players. Maybe there's a dude they land on that they really like that could slide in the starting lineup. But there's also not many teams right now that you could actually look down and say, you know what, if we had to play a game tomorrow, we'd have a starting five that we think could win us that game. That's the Lobos right now. And, Nolan coming in has a chance to carve out his opportunity at shooting guard position, because it's going to come down to, who can hit some buckets too. You love the potential of True Washington, his length, his defense, but they know they need more of that outside shooting pop, and this is something to try to address that.
So right now they got 7 returning players. They have 3 scholarships available, 2 incoming freshmen. Portal closes May 1 for players who want to get in for next year. Meanwhile, guys in the portal, this is on 24/7, and they're really good. 24/7 Sports. They've got Jamal Mashburn 100% committed to Temple. Now, I haven't seen it anywhere 100%. I got a lot of things on the Twitter saying that Jamal is a strong lean towards Temple, that he's been visiting there, that there's a lot of interest. But 24/7 has him as 100% committed. So and they're usually right, not always, but usually right. So interesting spot. I mean, I had heard a lot of places on him. Kentucky certainly was leading the charge. What do you think about that one?
That's fascinating. It was a school that would have never crossed my mind thinking about where Jamal Mashburn Jr. was going to play. But you take a step back, it essentially is a basketball school. He has East Coast ties growing up. And I'm sure that if you go into it, there's an assistant coach or something along the way that has a connection with, and the place feels pretty comfortable.
All right, so playing the American. And I was talking to somebody yesterday. I remember who it was. But we were talking about, everybody came back. I mean, it would have been nice if Mashburn came back, but, and I think Jamal Mashburn's going to have a terrific year wherever he plays, like I do. I think he'll get healthy. I don't think Jamal Mashburn Jr. forgot how to play basketball or forgot how to shoot. I think he's going to go somewhere and just have a fantastic year. I do.
Yeah, and it's one that's unfortunate that the amount of people were okay with being done with Jamal Mashburn Jr. I think his shooting came down to he had a thumb injury on his shooting hand that affected him a lot more than he ever let on and than anyone ever wanted to talk about throughout the entire season. And then it's just magnified. Yeah, he's a shooting guard that if he is not scoring or he's not having that effective mid-range game and people are clowning him for his defense, saying he doesn't move the ball, he's not an effective player. And he took a lot of that when there's some more players you could look at that do the same exact thing, but he was just the dude that took it.
He was, in some respects, a scapegoat. He took it hard. I think he's going to go somewhere, and it really looks like Temple, and good for him. And I think he's going to go out and kill it. Sebastian Forsley's still out there in the portal. There's a lot of guys in the portal. I didn't even see the latest numbers. I mean, did it hit 2,000 yet? I'm sure.
Not in basketball.
No, football.
That was like at 2,600 last week when we were talking about this. Basketball's for like 15, 16. Yeah. But still, if you're building, there's a lot of players available.
Yeah, no doubt. What do you think? Did you watch the spring game?
I was actually working softball at the same time.
All right.
Both started at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, and I was actually at lacrosse. Like I told somebody, I like Lobo football, but I like my kid a lot more. And I think there's like 2 more in her career left. That one more, and 1 more. So there was 3. And I got home like literally midnight on Friday and was in Santa Fe in the morning. And it's one of those things. Yeah, I listened to it. I talked to a lot of people. There was no video to watch, obviously. Heard some interesting things. Is Ned around? He was there, right? Should we get Ned on to talk about it?
That would be great. He was there.
I would love to hear his thoughts on it. If we want to reach out to him, just what he thought. I heard a lot of different things. And again, it was hard for people because there's no numbers, so they didn't know who was who. It was it was certainly different. And look, everything's going to be different. I'm not telling you different is bad. By no means am I telling you that. Different than what a lot of people were used to going out there. But I heard, they look good. They look thin. I heard thin numbers wise. I heard some things on the secondary that they need some help. I thought people thought the lines looked good. Devin Dampier took, I guess, all but one or two of the snaps.
Yeah. So Devin Dampier is your runaway number one quarterback.
Okay.
And I think even before Bronco Min and the whole staff came in, and when Devin Dampier was staying, you realize that he's going to be the incumbent starter. DC Tabscott win the Pearl. It's really no surprise.
And Soldier Malcolm Peters is no longer a quarterback, right? He transferred in last week, I saw.
Yes. And I think he transferred in to be the backup quarterback and take snaps in this offense. Because the reason he left BYU and he did not play in the 2023 season is because they moved him to running back.
Basically played one game, the quarterback, the bowl game, right?
And so I think we'll see Soldier in this offense as a dual threat player.
Okay.
But could slot in as the back quarterback because Justin Holiday's still there.
Yep.
And for him to do nothing in the spring game, and it tells you everything you need to know about the depth chart.
Was he hurt?
He transferred.
Oh, he's gone. When did he go?
Last week.
I didn't see. I missed some of that last week. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the unlimited transfer, right? Because he came in from Appalachian State. All right, if you were there, I'd love your thoughts. And I know there were about 1,200 people out at the game to watch the spring game, and maybe we'll reach out and get Ned's thoughts on that. I'd love to hear what he has to say. Just watching him, and I didn't get a chance to go out and see it, so I'd love to hear his thoughts. All right, 505-246-0610. Draft is coming up on Thursday. What is the latest? What is because now it's really going to go. Well, the latest is maybe Jaden Daniels feels a little jilted about his visit to Washington, or maybe he doesn't. Did he get treated well enough? We'll talk about that when we get back. Hey, International Protective Service continues to do amazing things. They heard you when you asked for their help to protect businesses in Santa Fe. Lots of calls are coming in for service there. If you live in Santa Fe and you're concerned about threats to your property, call IPS. In Albuquerque, police response is still hours, especially for homes and business break-ins. In most cases, IPS is there within 7 minutes or less. They install alarms and camera systems, then monitor those cameras 24/7 to raise the level of security around your home and business. You've noticed IPS officers at some local Targets and Walmarts and retail outlets. IPS makes a difference for them, and they can help you too. They make a huge difference for me. They're there every day. They give my family a sense of security. My neighbors now utilize them. Look, your home's supposed to be a place of security, and if someone breaks in, it's devastating for that sense of security. You don't know when someone's going to break in, so let IPS keep their eyes on your home, on your business, around the clock. Call them at 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420, online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
or surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sports Animal.
The draft is Thursday. National Football League draft. The biggest thing. What was this to do? Perloff and Maggie, or what's the show before on CBS Sports? Is that it? Coming in, and dude was talking about how the draft is just not fair. If it was challenged in court, it would be beat. It's just wrong. But in any other walk of life, you graduate or you go into the workplace and you can pick where you go. And Jaden Daniels shouldn't have to go where he's chosen. He should be able to choose where he, like, basically saying they should be free agents. Yeah, okay. Go ahead and challenge. It doesn't work that way.
No,
it doesn't need to work.
If you wanted to pull an Eli Manning, go for it and see if you have enough power in your corner to get that done. But that is also a reason why the NFL is so popular. It's because of the hope. Because C.J. Stroud changed everything for Houston last year.
He did.
And if he was coming out and going, oh, this is a terrible franchise, not going to play here, I'm just going to hold the cards in my hand, not get it done. And so that's also the balance. Is the draft does work to add intrigue and hope to your league.
Yeah, but his point was that it works for the league. It doesn't work for the player. It doesn't work for the employee. That they should be able, you come out and you want to go to Ernst, you're a finance kid and you're getting recruited by Ernst & Young and Merrill Lynch and give me another one.
And who knows, they're with the stuff they're changing in college athletics when it comes to student athletes, maybe that's the next step for them.
Yeah, maybe. I just don't see it. Anyway, that's where the draft is. It starts Thursday, it goes Friday and Saturday. So the Washington Commanders have the number 2 pick. And are you convinced it's going to be Jaden Daniels at this point? Are you off of Drake May now?
I've been on Jaden Daniels the entire time. I think there's a clear top 2 in this class. Caleb Williams, go number 1 over to Chicago. He's the only quarterback the Bears brought in for a visit. And I think Jaden Daniels is the second best quarterback in this class. I'll listen to the intrigue about just the size, athleticism of Drake May, the winning mentality of J.J. McCarthy. But to me, it's the top 2. And then there's a gap. And then not confident about any of those other guys.
Why are you not on Drake May?
I think, Drake May to me is like plenty of other prospects.
Does it feel like Daniel Jones? Does it feel like Mac Jones?
I think Drake May could be successful. I don't feel like when I look at Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels, I go, wow.
Okay.
Like I think there are traits there for those guys to be special players in the NFL. I think Drake May could be good. He just fits the mold. He's big. He makes the throws. He's got plus athleticism. And I'm actually really comfortable. Even if a team like New England has 0 offensive weapons, if he were to go there and not even play for 10 weeks.
I think he's going to be all right. I actually like him. I may have been swayed over to Jaden Daniels at number 2. All right, so if you believe he's going to Washington at number 2, Washington hosted 4 of the top quarterback prospects on the same day this week. Now, I don't know if Jaden Daniels has a problem with this, but evidently Jaden Daniels' agent didn't like this very much. Ron Butler's the guy who represents him from Agency One Sports. And he liked 2 social media posts, which criticized the Commanders, and evidently it's an unusual approach. Then he was on Adam Schefter was on Get Up on ESPN. And Adam Schefter, who is wrong like almost never, it's kind of amazing to me, echoed the sentiment that the agent, Ron Butler, was displeased and added that Daniels thought it would be just him when he went in. He went in for the meeting with Washington. He's the number 2 guy, and they have the number 2 pick, and he just figured it was going to be him. And the betting odds for Drake May got a little bit shorter on Thursday. That was last week. But I don't know where you go with this. This was John Keim, Keim, I don't know who that is, of ESPN. What's cool is we got to see them all together in a group setting. Commanders general manager Adam Peters said they all got a lot of time individually with coaches and us. They were staggered coming in. It was a great blend of that and working together in a fun environment. That's how the Commanders felt. Evidently, that's not how the player felt about it. Any bearing on number 2 because they brought them all in together? You have a problem with this?
I think that one felt like the Commanders were just trying to do something different to do it. Like new ownership group, a fresh front office. Let's give this a try. And it's almost like you'll see who can't handle the pressure. It's like, okay. I think this is more also an agent just being overprotective as opposed to maybe Jaden Daniels being so upset he's not going to go to the Washington Commanders if they pick him number 2.
But he is.
Because honestly, for me, like, I guess it'd be easier on your schedule. But if I'm one of those coaches or GM, like, I want X amount, like, I want a day with each prospect. I don't want to be like, well, JJ McCarthy's going to be here at 3. So let's
I agree with that.
Let's go.
And so that's where I am on this. I think I kind of agree, man. If I'm, I don't know, the number 3 tight end prospect, and you want to bring me in with a bunch of other dudes, I almost kind of get that. I think I'm probably, if I'm going to be your franchise quarterback, if you're looking at me at the number 2 overall pick, and you could be looking at that dude and that dude and that dude and that dude. I don't have a problem with any of that. But I think I want you to bring me in, and I agree with you. At that position, like, again, if I'm Romo Dusney and you want to bring me in with a couple of the other wide receivers, all right, I kind of get that. But quarterback is a different position, dude.
Yeah, it's the number 2 overall pick with the best guys available. I think Jaden Daniels is clear number 2, and I just think as an organization, I would want to not feel pressured to be like, oh, well, here's our schedule for 4 different dudes that are running through today.
I think I'm okay with the way the agent feels. I don't know if Jaden Daniels feels that way. Then it's a tough way to start. And I don't know if J.J. McCarthy and or any of the other dudes that were in feel that way. Lenny, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Lenny.
Morning. How you doing? Well, I mean, Washington did something different, but they kind of, just screwed it by not doing individual workouts. But any quarterback that gets drafted, or a player that gets drafted, unless they want to sit out the whole season and get redrafted next year, the team's going to control you for 7 years if they franchise tag you twice.
Okay.
So just go and play.
Well, I think that's where it's going to end up, don't you? I mean, whoever they draft, that's how it's
I
going to
mean,
end up.
Washington's ownership group, it'd be different if you're going in to play for Dan Schneider. You're not.
Yeah, and you're hoping it's better. You don't know. You have no track record that it is better. You're hoping.
Well, I mean, I'm going off of his track record of how he treats the New Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia 76ers.
He's a bad dude, but hopefully the new people are better owners.
No. He owns those teams also.
Right. Understood.
Oh, but so he doesn't. I mean, I've never heard anything bad of him with his ownership group with those teams.
Okay.
So we hope, but he should go in. Caleb Williams and Jaden 2. New England's going to trade out at 3 because they don't need a quarterback. They need 900 players. I think they'll trade with Minnesota.
Maybe.
For the 11-23, a first next year, and maybe a third. All these other rumors about, the Chargers trading out and trading Herbert. That's the stupidest thing in the world to do. And to trade Herbert to bring in J.J. McCarthy, to me, McCarthy's going to be a flop.
Look, if someone offered me Herbert and you want to take my pick for J.J. McCarthy, I can't say yes fast enough. J.J. probably can't say it faster. Yeah, and I know you're on the same page, too.
If Minnesota says to them, I'm going to give you the 11-23 for Herbert, and the Chargers take it, Minnesota should be laughing all the way.
100%. Anybody who can get Herbert for a couple of picks, abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah. So that's not going to happen either. The Giants are in that bad position of being in 6. Because they want McCarthy. They may not be able to get him. It could be first 4, off the board. Because I don't see Arizona. Arizona might trade out, too.
I think Arizona may trade their pick. Yeah, I think that's where the Raiders might slip.
But I think New England's going to trade out also. This year, let Jacoby Brissett run him this year and then do it.
Or get
and then the
Bo
only
Nix down
thing
the
for
line.
me, I like to see the Jets go after, if they can get him, Brock Bowers. They need a tight end.
No, that number 10, and that would be a great pick for them because they are as all in this year as anybody has ever been all in. Like it's all in for this year.
But if he's as good as they say he is, and he looks good on film, he could be the next Kelsey. And the Jets have no tight ends; they have blocking backs.
Interesting. Yeah. All right.
But it'll be interesting Thursday. But all the quarterbacks, stop all of this. I was in San Diego with the whole Eli Manning thing, and them saying we're not going to take Manning and he's not going to come there. That's not going to happen again.
Yep.
The players are locked in for 7 years, and I'm tired of it. The players need to go where they're drafted, play, and that's it.
Yeah, and I think that's how it'll happen. And with all the blubber that's going on now, I think when it all is said and done, it's going to go that way. Lenny, good to hear from you always.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Have
you.
a good one.
All right, when we come back, look. First of all, let me back that up. If anybody, if it's Minnesota, if it's Washington, if anybody wants to trade a draft pick that would be J.J. McCarthy to Harbaugh, and you can get Herbert, I mean, immediately, right? If you can find the cap space, and if you can't, you find it.
Yeah, it would cost you at least 4 first-round picks.
Would it cost you 4?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what he wants. If he really wants,
like, if you weren't really, I would then fire Harbaugh the next day. Like that's one I get. You've won a national championship with J.J. McCarthy, but you don't come in and trade Justin Herbert for J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, Dak, not paid yet. Not trying to be the highest paid quarterback, but it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Channel.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, paint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
I don't need to be the highest paid, but pay me. What's up? It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Morning to you. Draft week playoffs are underway. Lobo's spring game went down. We're gonna talk with Ned at some point today. Get out and see some Savannah Bananas. Did you see that at all?
My goodness, I didn't. But the buzz, the hype, wow.
I had no idea. I literally had no idea. So I did go. And actually, I'd love your thoughts. Did you go, and what'd you think? Because I didn't. Do you know what to expect? Like if you go to a Savannah Bananas,
I know who they are, what they do.
Okay, so you kind of know their
shtick.
shtick. I had no idea. I didn't know. Oh, the Harlem Globetrotters are best, but they hate that, by the way.
Yeah, because they actually, both teams can win.
Yeah. They're decent ball players. I mean, you know, they all played. I honestly didn't know what I was getting into. Now, I will tell you this. I am really glad that I had the tickets where I had them. I was very fortunate because I guess the whole building, the whole lower bowl was like general admission, right? That's why they were lined up at 8 a.m. So everybody could run in and just got to go in and get a seat. So I didn't know that. I guess like parking. And again, I parked way out by my office and underground, and, you know, or in that parking structure. A little extra walk was fine. The park was packed. Like Manny Ramirez kind of packed. Like
sold out both days.
Yeah, for a Manny Ramirez kind of thing. It was different. I thought it was fun. It was cute. It was entertaining. It was baseball, but it was. I still don't know some of the rules. Like there's one thing where the umpire like throws his hands up and guy runs to second base and they all throw the ball around the infield. I don't know what that was. Guy hits a home run. That's the end of the inning. I'm not sure I understand. I guess there's only so many runs you can score in it. Whatever. It didn't matter to me. I don't care. I was entertained. And everybody around me was entertained. And the whole thing, it was, I don't need to see it every night. I don't know that I need to go see it again.
So it's perfect to come to your town for 2 days. Barnstorming tour.
It was a show. It was like going out to Popejoy and seeing a show. It was good, man. I thought they put on a hell of a show. The stilt pitcher person was really good. All of it. I thought it was cute. It was, people wearing bananas on their heads. And I was rooting for the party animals. What's up, man? That's the other team.
No, because that's one of the things that they promote. Is like it's a show, but the Savannah Bananas aren't going to go out there and win every game.
No, it was a good time. If you're out there, I'd love your thoughts. It was, like I said, it was good. I saw the Isotopes play on pick a night, Wednesday, Tuesday, one night last week. I was down in El Paso, and finally got to that ballpark and saw the Isotopes in Chihuahuas. Great ballpark.
Split a series.
Yeah,
step forward.
That's another great little ballpark. And it was funny, all the Bull people that were in there, and a lot of big league people, and just marveling how nice the minor league ballparks are. That was the one I think they got beat 11-3 or something.
They're like, can we play a bowl game in one of these things?
Yeah, think about that. That's right. No, it was good. All right, Dak Prescott said that basically he's not trying to be the highest paid necessarily, and he talked about leaving Dallas. So there's a lot of noise around this, right? There's a lot of noise. He's 1 year away from free agency, and he said he would consider staying with the Cowboys on a deal that doesn't reset the market. Isn't that nice of him? He would consider. Well, let me go through this. No, I'll tell you. He talked to reporters. It was Friday night at a charity event. And he said that Jerry Jones and him have talked about his contract, but they haven't begun negotiations. Quote, "I'm not trying to be the highest paid necessarily. We'll wait until negotiations begin, and obviously want to put this team in the best situation." That was his quote. At the same time, though, he said he's not afraid to play out his contract and fight out in 11 months if another team's willing to make him a better offer in free agency. Quote, "I don't fear either situation, to be candid with you. I love this game and love to play and love to better myself as a player and my teammates around me. Right now, it's with the Dallas Cowboys." End quote. Right. I love his confidence. I love the fact it's going to work out either way. I like that. There's a large chunk of me that just is all about, look, you can bet on you. I'm good. I know that. I'm down. Dude to me just said, look, pay me or I'm out. Like I don't need to be the highest paid necessarily. But when someone else comes pay me more, I'm going to go. That's free agency. Okay?
Yeah, that's free agency. It's also, I think the Cowboys are able to take a step back and really say, well, if we don't win in the postseason, we're moving on. And now the injuries dictated what happened with Kirk Cousins, but I look at this very similar to Minnesota. I think they would have probably moved on from Kirk Cousins unless they won a Super Bowl this past season. And I think it's very similar to where Dallas is you're going to have a successful season. Like Dallas is going to win 10, 11 games, get to the playoffs. And then Dak Prescott at that point in time, if he wins multiple games, he'll be the starting quarterback moving forward for the Dallas Cowboys. If he doesn't, then I think they would be okay with letting him walk and understanding that it's not an easy thing to do. But there's just the belief that they've hit their ceiling with Dak Prescott. And just like we saw with Kirk Cousins, someone would be willing to go make Dak Prescott very nicely paid starting quarterback.
All right. I don't need to be the highest paid necessarily. I don't necessarily need to reset the market. Dude, you're not that guy. That's the part of the statement that bothers me. I don't care. But hit me. It was. I don't need to be the highest paid necessarily. And what do you say about I'm not looking to reset the market? I don't have to reset the market, dude. With all due respect,
that's a great comment.
Is it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you get into this thing where we say it all the time. We think the next contract is going to be the biggest one. It doesn't have to be the biggest one. This, that. And he's acknowledging that if I play good, I want to get paid like a top-tier quarterback, but I'm not going to be the number one. quarterback paid
necessarily.
I think everyone should say that.
Yeah, to me, he's not that guy. I don't even think he's close to that guy who should be having the conversation about resetting the market. Now, if they have the same year they had this year, they win their division, they beat the Eagles, they beat the Commanders, they win their division, and they lose the second round of the playoff. Well, this year they lost the first round. Well, their first game, right? They lose that divisional week. He's not back, right? Is that what we're saying?
Yes. This pretty much comes down to how many playoff games you're going to win, and then the Cowboys will extend you or you're hitting free agency.
All right, and so let's play that out. So he hits free agency. We're a year from now. I don't know who needs a quarterback. Feels like everybody's stocking up on quarterbacks now, but somebody will need a quarterback.
We'll be sitting here next year, and there's 10 teams that need a quarterback.
I promise.
I think he could be the starting quarterback for
the Giants,
Pittsburgh Steelers,
the Giants,
New York Giants.
Next year at this time?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Jets.
Vikings.
It's the Vikings, even though they're going to try to go all and get their franchise guy.
Saints, Buccaneers, Seahawks. No, seriously. You're not wrong on that. People will want him. What will the price be? All right, let's go 505-246-0610. So many things. We should do this. Oh, my goodness gracious. And are you watching what's going on in golf? Are you watching the history being made at the top of both men's and women's golf? I know it's sacrilege. And I'm not calling him Tiger, but it's Tiger-like. Both him and her. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, the
It's up to all of us to do our part.
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
They're not that proud of us.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running.
It's the OD in the AM with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Had a little sports this morning. That's right, Monday morning. Got a little, just a few holes. Clean things up. Scotty Scheffler won at Harbortown. Can I give you a little history around this? It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. JJ, I'm not saying he is Tiger, nor am I saying she is Tiger, and she will be a story here in a minute. But the last player to win 4 times in 5 starts on the PGA Tour was Tiger Woods at the end of 2007 into the beginning of 2008. Tiger's run was win-win, tie for second, win-win, win-win-win. So that was 6 wins in 7. Scheffler has won 4, and he finished second in the 5th. And one of them happened to be the Masters. So I don't know if that it makes it better than what Tiger did, because one of them was the Masters, not the Mercedes Open or whatever out in Hawaii. But what he's doing, and he ran away from the field. Oh, by the way, in the 7 weeks, in the 5 tournaments, Scotty Scheffler's earned over $16 million. Dominant. Going to be a daddy. I mean, it's insane. I don't know. Tiger-esque, is that fair? Does it interest you?
It's fair. You have to start somewhere. And for Scotty Scheffler, it's, can he continue to grab these majors along the way, win these other tournaments? Yes. What would that would put him at 14 professional victories. Okay.
I mean, Tiger's got 100 and something, right?
Well, Tiger has 82 PGA Tour wins, 41 European Tour wins, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying any of that stuff.
No, but it's starting somewhere. And it's consistency, finding a player that can win back-to-back weekends. You don't see that all that often. That's something that Tiger Woods was able to do. What you do in major championships. And it's a fact right now that when Scotty Scheffler is on, there's players that have just as high as a ceiling as he does, but those other players will come back to earth. Scotty Scheffler, when he's in the lead, you're going to have to run him down because he's not coming back to you.
Insane. Have you heard of Nelly Korda? Nelly Korda is a ladies golfer who is on a bigger run right now. How could you be on a greater run than winning 4 of her last 5 tournaments? She won her 5th in a row. She won the Chevron Championship, and there's 2 other players. Roswell's Nancy Lopez and Annika Sorenstam are the only other players in the history of that game who've won 5 in a row, and she's the first American to do it. It's amazing. Nancy Lopez did it in 1978. Sorenstam did it in 04-05. The only golfers to do this on the LPGA Tour, she's got a chance to break it next week when she goes to L.A. We're watching some insane golf. And this isn't, well, yeah, but they're weak fields. No, the fields are as strong as they've ever been. Well, I don't know. John Rahm's on LIV, and no, Rory McIlroy's still there, and you still had a lot of big names. I mean,
what do you think of, John Rahm coming back to the Masters and all of a sudden be like, well, I missed this, and
of course
it's got to be kumbaya, and
yeah, I took my $300 million, but I want to play with all y'all. So now that I got my $300 million, let's all get back together now. Yeah, And Roy and these other guys are just going, man. But that's what's going to happen, by the way.
From Roy McIlroy.
Oh.
And that report was real that came out.
Which one?
He was offered $850 million.
The heat he would have taken, it would be worth $850 million, wouldn't it?
Yes. I'll go play 3 days of golf.
And then play in the majors. Yeah, I look.
To own the world.
$850 million. Yeah, it's insanity. All right, we're here for you today. 505-246-0610. Come on in. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. On the text line, that's 505-246-0610. Nothing would make me happier than Dak Prescott becoming a financial burden for a different team. I think that's a Cowboy fan saying, go take him and make him your albatross, and so you can't do
I understand that.
Yeah.
It feels like you've hit a ceiling with Dak Prescott. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, like, we're not winning championships and Super Bowls, and I understand that, and I also think that's part of that. That's the challenge of, can Dak Prescott not win it? Is it a Cowboys thing? Because it is a hard thing to do, is throw away good quarterbacks. And you know me, Jeff, I think that we've kind of skewed this conversation as we downplay so many good quarterbacks because we can't insert the word elite there. And so we think, well, this person can't be any good. But there's also times where it just comes to an end, and it feels like that's where we're at with Dak Prescott and the Cowboys.
But what if he gets to the NFC Championship game this year? That's the one where you're going, well, he didn't get us over the top, but he got us further. We're one game away from the Super Bowl. How do we pay him? That's the one that's going to get you, right? You get there and you lose to the Rams in the NFC Championship game this year.
It's also a fair conversation, because anytime a contract comes up there and you don't win to a certain level, like what happens when the 49ers pay Brock Purdy and he's not that fun, out of nowhere, Mr. Irrelevant, not making any money guy?
He's still going to Super Bowls. I think they're going to like him. I mean, he did go to the Super Bowl, did he not?
Yes, he did.
He took him to an NFC Championship game the year prior and couldn't throw a football. Hurt his arm to the point where
McCaffrey. I'm saying that's what things change when you're making money.
Yeah, no, I get it. Expectations change. He's the cute Mr. Irrelevant making under $1 million. That's right. All right, we're going to... Do you expect trades before the draft?
I think if one of those teams,
New England,
3, 4,
Washington.
5,
Yep.
Washington can't move. You cannot trade off that pick if you're Washington Commanders. Like, take Jaden Daniels at number 2 and move on. If it is one of the teams reaching up for a quarterback, I think that deal would get done before the draft, because there's so many moving pieces involved in it. Multiple first-round picks, the pick swaps later in the round. What third am I getting versus what fifth you're getting?
Okay.
So I think if a team settles on, hey, we are trading up for a quarterback, that will come out before the draft.
Are we talking about the Chargers? Their general manager is named John Horitz, Horitz, Horitz. And he said that they aren't interested in a fair trade. No, they don't want a fair trade for the number 5 pick. They need to be blown away to move off of number 5. They have to make it attractive for us to move those players. If it's a fair trade, it's a wash. I don't think that's a trade we're interested in. We want to rip you off.
Look, really, New England, Arizona, and the Chargers. If people love Drake May and JJ McCarthy after those top 2, you're in a good position to get an extra second-round pick.
More so the Chargers.
An extra first-round pick out of someone.
Look, more so the Chargers. If one of the guys, and again, you're the Raiders, and it's hard to trade in division. I understand that. But what if the Vikings don't get up to where they want to get? 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's 4? Arizona?
4 is Arizona.
They don't get to Arizona. Who's 6?
The New York Giants. And they've already floated it out there that they take a quarterback.
All right, so you're Minnesota and you get to 5. And one of them's going to be there, whether it's McCarthy, Penix, Drake May, one of them's going to be here. Right? You don't think so? Well, it has to be.
Well, I don't. Man, you're doing that
at 5.
Michael Penix. That's something else. the same. You can say the same thing for McCarthy, but we know it's a need. And when Minnesota acquired the 23rd overall pick this year,
the whole objective was
they're loading up to trade up.
Yeah. So they go up. If I would tell you the odds of the Chargers picking at 5 are, to me, less than 50%. They trade down. They load up, and I think Minnesota jumps up. I think that's where Minnesota jumps up to. Because Arizona, I guess Arizona can go down. Arizona wants a receiver, right?
Yeah, that's the one everyone says, Marvin Harrison Jr., Ohio State receiver to Arizona.
Okay. Is it worth trading down and getting the Rome Odunze at, 11 for Minnesota? Is that where Minnesota's top pick is? 11 and 23? Or 25, whatever it is?
It's 11 and 23.
Yeah. I mean, hell, Marvin Harrison Jr. might still be there. Because I think the Jets are going tight end. I think there's the lineman picks in there. He might still be there at 11. Might not. Then you get kid out of LSU, the other receiver. What's the other, the number 2 receiver? I love Odunze a lot, but there's something there. I think that's where Minnesota goes.
Yeah, it feels like 4 or 5. And now and you never know what, when the games you start playing against each other, the GMs start making those calls and, well, talking with good old Bob over here, and they're really interested in this. So, what do you want to do for number 3?
If I'm Minnesota, I want to get it done before the draft.
Yeah, that's my feel. If it's that big of a trade, if Minnesota, one of the teams knows that, hey, we can go up there, this team is willing to get off this, you have to get that done.
Well, here's the other reason. Because the later it goes, the more desperate they know you are. And if I can get it done, and especially if I'm the Chargers, if I'm the Chargers and we get to draft you, I can almost charge you more for 5 than they would for 3. Because I'm your last choice. Because you got nowhere to go now. If the Patriots make a pick and Arizona makes a pick and you're waiting to see if your guy's there, it's going to cost you way more on Thursday than it will right now on Monday. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it could be a situation where that happens regardless, like even if they don't get it done, because I think there's a strong possibility Arizona just sits and says, hey, we could trade back at a bunch of picks, but let's go get the number 1 wide receiver in this draft. Stuff Kyler Murray. Give him something.
Yeah. All right, what do you think? 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. When we come back, so bottom of the hour, which is 8:30 this morning, Ned James is going to be with us. And actually, I think Forrest is coming in next, right? We got Isotopes Baseball. So we're going to get you ready for the big homestand coming up against the Dodgers with a stud big leaguer getting set to pitch in Albuquerque, it looks like, on Wednesday. And then at 8:30, we're going to touch base with Ned and his thoughts on the former Louisville quarterback, tell you what he thought from Louisville's football spring game. So stay with us. We got a big half hour to an hour coming up for you on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Hour.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 888-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
About Cortland Sutton, but the Broncos do not plan to trade him. He's 28. He's got 2 years left on his deal. George Payton said, that's their general manager, earlier this week that he's in a good place. Is Sutton the number 40 overall pick in 2018? 59 passes, 10 touchdowns last season. They can't trade him, right?
I'd trade him in a heartbeat.
You would.
28 years old.
All right. What do you want for him?
Coming off injury. Third round pick. Let's go.
Third. Okay.
Broncos have no draft capital. Broncos have old players. They need to reset that foundation. Trade him in a heartbeat.
All right. So you really, that's interesting to me.
Yes. You don't have a quarterback right now.
You don't have a quarterback.
You can
well,
land
but
Bo
you
Nix
will.
or
You,
Michael
by
Penix
the
as
end of the
well.
week, you're gonna have a quarterback.
Yeah. But still, I think reset around that guy.
You can't. Well, why don't you turn the volume up? I mean, does that work for you? Man, you're smart.
That does, dude. My goodness.
Look at this. He's got
a Northwestern grad, right?
Forrest is here. The look he just gave me. I wish your camera was on. Forrest is here from the Isotopes. What's up, buddy?
Oh, not too much, man. Just trying to recover from the Savannah Bananas, clearly still.
Look, he just sat down in the seat and he put on the headsets and just that look. You know that look? It's not working.
I can't do anything about it.
Turning it on and off.
Did you turn the volume up? Look at that.
Oh,
damn, you're smart.
The one thing I forgot to do.
Turn it on and off. See if that works. What's up, man?
Not too much, man.
How was the weekend with the Banana Savannahs?
It was bananas.
That was out there Saturday.
Oh my God, isn't it? It's a hoot, right?
You know how big this was?
But you were there. That's how big it was.
John Schraub even came by to say it.
Wow.
Like the general manager, Chrissy Baines. You know how big this was? Jay Sattenspiel, who runs over as vice president of the concession company.
That's a real person.
He was even, dude, that's a real person.
Ken Young was in town.
He was there when the ballpark opened. He was in, this was, Holly Holm was there on the field on Sunday. Like, this was gigantic. And they won. How big was that? And see what happens when you win, Forrest? People show up.
They come to the games. The Bananas won Sunday. The Party Animals won. The Bananas won Saturday, and then the Party Animals won Sunday. Behind 3 strong innings from ABQ native Drew Gillespie. He pitched the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Is it bad that I was rooting for Party Animals?
I'm kind of with you, honestly. You know, I'm more of a Party Animal guy than a banana guy. You know, it's my personality, right?
It was fun. Hey, I saw the Topes in person on, let's call it Tuesday night.
Oh, down in El Paso.
Yeah,
That's
I went
awesome.
to the Chihuahuas Park. They've got a nice little ballpark.
It's very intimate, right? You're right on top of the field. It's very
wedged
it's
into
close.
downtown,
Exactly.
right there,
That's a
right
good way to
off
put.
the right.
Good way to put it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. And how about taking 3 out of 6? That's
right.
Let's take little baby steps so we can get them.
Yeah, right. I mean, we almost had that our first series win of the year, but we'll take a split, get things going in the right direction.
All right, Force is in. Ice Topes are back on tomorrow. Back on tomorrow. Oklahoma City's in town.
Well, it was a good step forward. The series split.
Yeah.
Does that mean, Jeff, when you were down there, did you address the Thunder Cup issue or the curse of the Thunder Cup?
So I actually saw Pilo,
Okay.
and Jordan Pacheco and your boy Sushan. I said, hey, we're coming up. I told them where we're going to be afterwards. And then I get a Sushan text. We got a day game tomorrow, and I'm going to go. I'll come on, Softy. I thought you were an Aztec. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
thought Aztecs could go.
I thought they could go a little bit. I thought it was, a little soft that, I have a day game. I can't go out and have one. But I did see Pilo. He seemed good. We shook hands. He was in the dugout. I kind of reached over. I did tell you about that. I didn't clear it with you that I went and said hello to the manager.
Where is this? Come on, Jeff.
I broke protocol.
Oh my
dude!
God.
I was
Who
at
do
the
you
game,
think you are?
and I reached over the dugout and I shook your manager's
Maybe that's
hand.
what's needed to break the curse.
Hey,
and they lost.
whatever works, Walker
Buehler tomorrow night for the Oklahoma City baseball.
No,
club.
Wednesday night.
What day is today?
Today's Monday.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I thought it was Tuesday.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, tomorrow's Dollar Dog Night. So if all your hot dog lovers come on out to the ballpark, it's going to be you can get as many hot dogs as you like, and then come back to the ballpark on Wednesday and enjoy 2-time All-Star and 2020 World Series champion Walker Buehler. He'll be starting for the Oklahoma City Baseball Club.
Why are they the dog? What the hell?
So here's the thing, real quick.
Yep.
So I'm going to be that guy.
Come on.
Play that role,
Please,
right?
please.
Why are we promoting the other guy? Shouldn't we be about winning? Why is Walker Buehler the star? Isn't this about the Isotopes?
Well, I mean, at the same time, of course, but if you have a 2-time All-Star
so
and
good,
2020 World Series champion,
He does sound like our email. So.
I mean, am I wrong? This is a Dodger town,
It's
right?
right. No. Look. The right answer is you got an All-Star coming to town, a 2-time All-Star.
Yeah.
And yes, and how often do you get to see a dude like that, right?
And that's also the beauty of minor league baseball is
Easy answer. All right, what else? We got a big. So walk us through the week.
Yep. So Wednesday, Walker Buehler. Thursday, we have a school day matinee at 11.
Walker Buehler night, where everybody who comes in a walker gets in. What if you did that?
That's not a bad idea.
Walker gets in free, like one of those little.
Buehler.
I'm just saying.
I'll see if I can call Medicaid real quick. Yeah.
Sponsored by.
Thursday, we have a day game at 11 o'clock. So come play a little hooky, have a long lunch. Games at 11 o'clock. Friday, Saturday, Little League night. Banner parade for all the teams pregame, postgame fireworks, the first fireworks shows of the season.
Like those.
So come out Friday and Saturday nights. Sunday, bark in the park. So bring your pups, hang out on the berm for a few hours. We'll also be having an inflatable bat giveaway for the first 3,000 fans.
Well, that's going to end up nicely.
Oh, dude, yeah, have fun with your dog with that. Hopefully they won't,
well, the dog's going to pop it. But
no, of course not.
The kids get running around.
Oh, yeah. It's like little whack-a-moles, right? Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
All right, so I had to correct Clark the other day. He was talking about the Oklahoma City Dodgers. We skipped the scores. What's the deal?
Oklahoma City Baseball Club.
I understand that they've changed it. Why?
So they had a rebrand, obviously.
Didn't the Dodgers buy them, right? The Dodgers own them, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that's
not right.
Diamond Baseball Holding owns Oklahoma City Baseball Club.
Like a subsidiary of the Dodgers?
No.
Okay.
No, they're a separate entity. They had a brand they wanted to go with, but then they pivoted at the last second.
Yeah.
So they changed the Oklahoma City Baseball Club, and they'll be coming out with a new brand
The
next
Commanders?
year. Who knows? Could be following in their footsteps.
It's the same thing when one of the trademarks for Utah, when the NHL is going to Salt Lake City, Utah Hockey Club.
Oh, man.
It's a placeholder.
Yeah.
So you can figure out what your name is
A
going to be.
placeholder in the off season is one thing. I mean, I'm fine with it. I have no problem with it. I didn't know the reason.
Yep. It just, I think because they wanted most minor league clubs now are separating themselves, at least their
Cubs are the only one,
nickname
right?
wise, from their parent club.
The Cubs
pretty
are
much.
the only one, right?
Yep.
Are the Redbirds still Memphis Redbirds?
Oh, they are. You're
But they're
the
not Cardinals.
Exactly, the Redbirds. It's a good play on words with that, but it's a clearly distinction between
The Paw Sox? What's Pawtucket?
the
used to be
Paw
the Paw
Sox.
Sox,
You're right. Yeah.
Come on now, this is your business.
Yeah, I
But
know. Hey.
I'm working on a few more right off the top of my head. What's Tidewater?
Tidewater Tides. Yeah.
All right.
I knew that one.
All right, so the club's playing better.
Yeah.
We have a little pitching.
We got 12 home games in 13 days coming up starting tomorrow.
All right.
So only 2-week homestand of the season.
Lastly, before you go, I know you got to go. You're on the timer. There was a game last week, the homestand, not last week, 2 weeks ago, where you had, tell me if I'm wrong, 14 walks, 2 hit batters, 3 errors. You gave away 19 free bases. You ever see, you're a stats guy, you're a media relations guy. You ever seen a game like that?
No. 14 walks is a lot.
Clint Hurdle was in the next day, and I'm like, hey, so repping that line, and you wonder why you lose. Like, no, you know damn well why you lost.
I mean, to give away that many free bases, you're not going to win many ball games doing that.
14 walks, 2 hits.
It's a franchise record. The old one was 11.
Record-setting night.
Yeah.
Huh? Woo!
Put it on the board. Yes.
It's a big night.
So the ones you bury somewhere just in the notes. Oh, by the way, a franchise record 14 walks.
Back page of that book. All right. It's good seeing you. Always is.
Yes. And one thing before I go, Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, a couple Sundays from now.
Cinco de Mayo's May 5th this year?
It is. Yeah, right? Get the heck out of here. We have Mariachi's jersey giveaway, a pregame Al Hurricane concert, junior concert, postgame fireworks, new merchandise for the Mariachis. It's going to be a fun Sunday afternoon, 5:05 start in honor of, Cinco de Mayo being on May 5th this year.
It's on May 4th. I think the 4th of July is going to be on July 4th, too. That's how that works. All right, man, get the hell out of here.
Yes, sir. Good talking with y'all.
Stuff to do. All right, turn that thing down so nobody can hear it. No, I'm leaving it. All right, see you. Forrest with the Ice Hopes, and of course, all games are right here on the Sports Channel. When we come back, James, the former Lobo quarterback, is going to be in, and we'll talk to him about his impressions of the Lobo football spring game. It's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
So, a buddy of mine hit me the other day. It was yesterday because the Cherry Silver game Lobo football spring game was on Saturday, and the score was 42-0. He's like, Lobos got beat 42-0 again. I'm like, easy. What are we doing? So I don't know how you judge a Cherry Silver game, because if your offense goes nuts and your defense, our offense looks great. Yeah, but our defense didn't. And it's one of those, how do you judge it? We'll turn it over to our next guest, Ned James, former Lobo quarterback. He is the sideline analyst for Lobo broadcast over on News Radio KKB and along the Lobo radio or the UNM Sports Radio Network. He is career in the NFL as a coach and a scout and more so heard right here on the Sports Animal. He is Edward Abraham James. Good day, sir. How you living?
Hey, living good. How you guys doing?
Good. Thanks for doing this last moment. I was up in Santa Fe watching my daughter play lacrosse. And JJ wasn't there, and there was not a lot of video. So I really want to lean on you a little bit. What'd you think? How'd you judge it? What'd you think of your first look at this team going at each other?
Well, I know Bronco's just trying to build a culture there right now, that earned, not given culture where, there's no numbers on the jerseys. So a lot of people are frustrated because you can't really tell who's who because there's just names. But I thought Robert Fortner did a good job of just identifying guys who did certain things throughout the scrimmage. And, there was only one quarterback. So, Devin Dampier was the only one that played quarterback during the spring. So it was essentially a scrimmage with the offense versus defense. And I thought it went, as well as it could go. I mean, there wasn't really any special teams, which I look for because of the kickers. And I thought, the offensive line is really big. I think that's why there were some points scored, and, they're running RPO stuff. And it was really entertaining, I thought. I sat, with the alumni guys, of course, who were just excited. A lot of guys that were up there were guys that played when Bronco coached here. So it was interesting to see and hear them talk about how they thought things were going throughout the scrimmage, and it was just I thought it was a fun day. The weather was nice, and I think a lot of people are just kind of wondering what's going on as far as the players are concerned. But I think I've gotten a positive response from the kids. Good. And it was exciting out there because there's recruits out there. I talked to some of the recruits that were in town, with this portal stuff. I even had Jarek Reed, who's with the Seattle Seahawks, not a former Lobo from last season, talk to some of the recruits. So, it was really kind of a really good afternoon for football. I think people were excited in the stands. I thought, there was a lot of offense, so it looked good.
Other side of the coin is when there's a lot of offense. How about the defense? And the people that I talked to said they were concerned about the secondary.
Yeah, that's going to be a concern. I mean, they need linebackers and DBs, and that's who the recruits were. So, it was kind of interesting, and these guys are, I talked to one kid coming from West Virginia, so there's, they're trying to fill a need, but, you still got to practice, and you're trying to build a culture. I think that's probably what's more important. Talk to some guys, from Virginia, and, one of my good buddies was Broncos defensive coordinator at BYU. So I kind of have an idea of what Bronco's trying to bring to the University of New Mexico with the culture, and that's where you start. And it may rub some people the wrong way initially, but the guy's got a plan. He's smart. He understands what he needs, and that's what he's trying to facilitate with these new players. And players are leaving and getting in the portal and that sort of stuff, but. For the most part, you got to see, the team for the first time, and I think, he's just trying to establish this culture with this team, and with the defense, there's some work to do. So he's got his work cut out for him.
Ned James, former Lobo quarterback and analyst along the UNM Sports Radio Network for Lobo football, is with us on the Sports Animal.
I know with Devin Dampier coming back, there was a lot of excitement. It was the one thing that Lobo fans were looking forward to with the experience he had last year. A full offseason. Now, I know it's a brand new system, but what kind of things are you looking at in year two of a young quarterback's development, places that he's going to be better at just due to experience?
Yeah, it's always tough when you're a quarterback and you get a new coordinator because, the verbiage and what they expect and like is probably totally different from the previous coordinator. I'm partial to different kinds of quarterbacks, so Devin Dampier, the RPO style guy, I mean, he was really exciting yesterday. I mean, he kept the crowd in it because he's dynamic and you know, they did a lot of deep ball throws and those kind of things, and so it was a fun scrimmage to watch. You know, Andrew Henry put the ball in the end zone. They got a new transfer running back from Iowa State who's pretty good as well. They're, you know, a little smaller, but you know, they were dynamic runners, and so it looked good offensively, and that's how you entertain. You know, was with offense. But Devin Dampier at quarterback is electric. You know, he's like, we got the 4 Ds here at UNL. We got Devin Dampier and Donovan Dent. They both touch the ball all the time, and so he's like a point guard out there playing football. I mean, he runs around. I mean, he got some third down conversions yesterday, so it looked really good. But he's a run around guy. So they're trying to, you know, fit him in. I think just giving him all those reps, the more reps he gets, the better he's going to be. And I think, you know, that's a good, you know, thing to do with a new quarterback that you're trying to, you know, get into your offensive scheme. Jason Beck, who's the offensive coordinator, has got to fit Devin Dampier into what he does, and so by giving him every single rep, and that kid plays happy. I mean, he's like the Sammy Sosa of football. I mean, he's just always happy. He's out there, you know. He came over the sideline, and I mean, he's taking every rep. And I kind of yelled at him a little bit, and he kind of looked over at me and smiled and said, "Yeah, this is great." You know, he was having a good time Saturday. So it was exciting to see, and you know, I think he's gonna develop according to what Jason Beck believes he does best, and that's what he had talked to me about when I talked to Jason Beck earlier in the spring about what what his philosophy was as far as the quarterback position and his offense. So he's going to do what he thinks the guys do best.
Ned James with us here on the opening drive, former Lobo quarterback analyst on the Lobo Radio Network. All right, last year, one of the areas we talked about all the time was that offensive line, and we saw how good it was with 2 of those players going to Big Ten schools this season. CJ James transferring out. What do you see in the players that they're trying to work in up front?
Wow, you know, they're a lot bigger. I mean, they're pretty big up front. So I'm curious. I haven't, you know, they've got a young man, Richard Pierce, who they really like. He's transferred from East Carolina. He looks pretty good. And so, I mean, there's some other guys. They're bigger guys. I've got to look at them more. I mean, I don't really kind of place judgment on that particular group until I see them a little bit more. I've got to see some more one-on-one stuff. And, you know, usually during camp and stuff, I kind of get a better idea of how they are. Because that group last year was really good, really a tough physical group. This is a big group. Their approach to the offensive line is a little bit different than it was last year. So I'm gonna reserve judgment a little bit. But they look good. They look good Saturday, and they're pretty big. But you know, like you said, you know, the defense struggled a little bit in the secondary and the back end. I think the linebackers defense. I like Gabe Lopez. You know, I liked him last year, and he gets mad because I always ask him, I said, "Man, you keep losing weight. You look smaller." And so we had a couple alumni guys come on the field after the spring scrimmage was over and talk to him. And he's like, you know, they were asking him about, you know, how much do you weigh? He's like, well, you guys are hanging out with Ned. He must be telling you guys that I'm losing weight. And I'm like, no. But he really, talking to Gabe Lopez, they really enjoy the culture that Broncos bringing and you know, the earned, not given culture, whereas, you know, that's why they don't have any numbers on their jerseys. They said that he did that in Virginia as well, and he kind of rubbed some guys the wrong way. But it's just, you know, he's been successful, and that's the kind of culture he's trying to bring. And I think he's a man of few words, Bronco. He just kind of goes about his business, and you know, he's not going to deviate from what he thinks is right and how to build a team, and that's what I think they're doing now.
Hey man, you got a few extra minutes? We got to take a break.
Sure.
All right. I want to hold you to the top of the hour. They got a couple of other things off of what you were just talking about to talk about. Ned James is with us. He's the former Lobo quarterback and analyst along the radio network. We'll continue the conversation about the spring game for Lobo football next on the opening drive. And I want to ask him, how important are the next 2 years with potential realignment coming up? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, paint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Asking shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Adventure is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Light skin shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
James, and we're talking about the spring game, Cherry Silver game for the weekend. And Ned, you talked about establishing culture, new coaching staff. I got a text from a guy who said he's been going to Cherry Silver games since 1961. He claimed that was his worst experience that he ever had. He talked about the numbers, not knowing who was who, and just said that the people he was with walked out not with a great feeling. And I know it's new and it's one person's feel. How did you feel the fans reacted? Because it is new. It is a new coaching staff. It is a new way of doing things.
Yeah, it was interesting because I probably should have looked at the fan base a little bit more. But I was around a lot of alumni guys from my class and other classes that played when Bronco was the secondary coach and defensive coordinator here. So I got to hear guys cheer and get on each other about offense, doing the defense bad and the defense doing the offense bad. So and those guys were going back and forth that way. But, I could understand that because it was, kind of different. And like I said, a couple guys from the NFL that I knew from the Seattle Seahawks are Virginia guys. And I talked to them a little bit about, what happened while he was at Virginia and what he did and how he did it and, those kind of things. And they were explaining to me about the jerseys. It bothered them, too, that they didn't have any numbers. But, this whole earned but not given culture, you're training. And the most important thing, and people need to understand this, is that when you're building a culture with young people, the discipline part of it is really tough for a lot of guys. Can't handle it. And guys are leaving, but they're leaving respectfully. Bill was at the scrimmage, iced up with his diamonds and everything. I guess he's getting a bunch of money, traveling to all these different schools. That he's winding up at I guess he's at Ole Miss now. Yep. So, I mean, that's another story for another day.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about
other
that.
guys that were, Hunter Sellers, some of those guys I talked to a little bit just about, and they're in the portal and that kind of stuff. But they really had a lot of respect for Bronco and what he was trying to do. They didn't have any hard feelings about going into the portal and that sort of stuff because it just wasn't for them. That kind of culture that he's trying to build. But respectfully, they respected it. And what I've heard is that he's going to build your team in his image, the image that he wants. And whether people see it, a certain way or not. I mean, it's just
it's his
but
way,
he's been
man.
successful every place he's been.
It's going to be his way, and that's right. He's been successful. I got this. Terry said, ask Ned how important the next 2 years are for UNM football. Still wondering if the Pac-2 will take all the Mountain West schools or leave a couple behind.
Oh yes, it's important. I mean, you've got to show success. I always thought people laughed at me when I said I always thought we should have been in the Pac-10, the old Pac-9 or whatever we used to be in way back in the day. We deserve to be because of this region, and we're the only school in this state, the big school in this state, pretty much. So I've always thought, but it's important that you build a strong culture, and that the coach and the team is disciplined and can win. They believe they can win this year. They believe they can. They're going to be able to win. And the way the portal works and the way NILs work, you can win, and you should win. You should be able to go and get guys that you feel you need, and I think that's what Bronco's trying to do. I think he doesn't see certain things that other people may see as far as the talent goes here. Even though I thought the New Mexico kids played well, I like Luke Weissong, I like Nick Trujillo, and some of those guys, but some of these kids that are local kids that are out there and they're showing up, and they've been able to overcome some of the obstacles that other guys are having with staying here. That's why guys are jumping in the portal. They can't handle the strict discipline that they're having in practices and training, and so they're leaving the program to go to Green Pastures, they think, or just somewhere that's different. Yeah. But I think it's going well.
Appreciate you jumping in. I got there's a bunch of stuff I want to talk to you. I may give you a call because there's a bunch of stuff I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. There's a lot of people making questions.
Yeah. Good stuff. I appreciate you jumping on last second on that. I think it helps people with perspective. We'll do it again soon. And
okay.
Big week with the draft, but thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Be well. Ned James, former Lobo quarterback and sideline reporter for Lobo football on the radio. You can respond to any of that. But it's funny. Bill was back, and I'm going to get you a text. I got that one fan who was there. It's just one person. But maybe you were out there and had a different experience. Love to hear that as well. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, glad you're with us. 505-246-0610 is how to get in on the opening drive. On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This
voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
That's going to be a little different around there. And I think some of you are saying, yeah, good, damn it, win. Well, JJ, what solves everything? Dubs. Winning. So if they win, doesn't matter. But yeah, I've heard some of the alumni were saying, yeah, we want to go talk to them and heard that Broncos spoke to the alumni for about 5-10 minutes. And so you guys were always welcome and said, I got to go talk to recruits. And so the alumni didn't get the love that they were hoping, some of them that they wanted. And look, man, it's a new way. And the old way yielded you 4 wins last year. And so you're hoping you get more. And that's just the way it is. Look, man, is it got that warm, loving feeling that maybe it had for the last few years? Probably not, right? It's not as prickly maybe as years prior. And let's see what happens. But that's the way it is. If you were out there, I'd love your thoughts. 505-246-06. Let me just read you this one text. And it's from Marty, and he was out at the game the other day. He says, Jeff, tell Coach Bronco it was the worst Cherry Silver experience I had. It was a bad outing that I've ever attended. And that's saying a lot. I've been to a lot of these games go back to 1961. When I arrived at the stadium, I was expecting to be handed a numerical roster as in the past. Only there were no numbers. Players had only last names on the back of their jerseys, illegible from the stands. Most everyone around me in the stands were complaining about not knowing who was who. I got to believe my old friend Robert Portnoy was having the same problem. Why have a Jumbotron and not replay the video of the current plays? Concession stand had no Pepsi or hot dogs, just bottled water. The atmosphere was not good. Only thing I liked was the team sang the fight song before the scrimmage. Most of the group of fans, including all my old Lobo friends and their buddies, left the stadium not very excited about the team. Bronco might be a great coach with a past great records, but yesterday, from a fan perspective, was bad feeling about wanting to buy season tickets. I will always support the team like I have since 1960, but after yesterday, what I witnessed was not a good experience. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but these loyal fans that show up yesterday, most were not overly crazy about watching the team. At least give them a roster with numbers to follow the play. So that's just not the way it is, right? I mean, his thing is, look, you got to earn these numbers, and it's not the way one fan going out. And again, the key word in there, like we've done in the past, it's not going to be done the way it was in the past. And by the way, haven't been winning very much in the past, right?
Yes. And I think one of the things you're not too concerned about is, hey, we don't have to win these people over. If you're coming out to a spring game, I think you assume you have those people. But if they're leaving with a sour taste in their mouth, that's definitely not what you want.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, those are your hardcores. Those are the ones that are coming no matter what. It'll be interesting. We hear a lot, and I don't know how this will be with Bronco in the next 3 months. You hear a lot how Lobo coaches need to be out in the community, right, building their program. And we're going to find out what that's worth. I don't know what I expect. Yeah, I kind of do know what I expect the opening day crowd to be and what it's going to be like. And then they got to go to Arizona, and they got to go to SEC country, and we'll see. But how important is it that, fan engagement, that warm, fuzzy feeling? I don't know. The last coach was very, very out in the community. And look, I make no qualms about it. I mean, I like Danny a lot. I think he did so many things right, except for win, right? But he was out in the community and did those things. How important is that? We're going to see. Rudy, were you out there at the Cherry Silver game? Good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
Yeah, I sure was. We got there early and we tailgated, and I don't know what people are expecting, but one of the reasons Bronco doesn't put numbers on is it's the earned, not given,
right.
And he hasn't distributed numbers yet. The other thing is, if you're out there trying to record like teams do and spy like teams do, you're not going to get much out of that, are you, if you don't even have the numbers, and it's very hard to see who's who.
Yep, you can see.
And I think that's all part of Broncos' thing. What did he say when he got here? What's the hardest thing to defend? Something that you don't know is coming. So I was fine with it. Actually, I thought it was one of the better exhibitions, and that's all it is. This is a glorified practice.
That's right.
Okay, it's not. You're going to learn a few things. You're going to get a few nuggets, but you're not going to get a complete picture of the team, and that's by design. So I was fine with that. I knew that going in, but I had spent time with Famika and I tell you what I did like is the offensive line. I think there was one procedure penalty the whole game.
It's a plus.
So compared to 15 in one game last year,
yep.
I'll take it. You know, and I don't know what people want. I guess they want to be entertained at all times in all manner. And I guess they wanted, the Savannah Bananas there instead of what it really was as a chance to, for the coaches to evaluate guys in a live game situation. But you know each other. You practice against each other all day. So there's not a whole lot of secrets, are there?
No. And that's actually right. And I just got a text that said I was with a group of about 25, and our experience was completely opposite of Marty. So they had a good time, and they feel like it's going the right way. So, look, everybody's going to experience it the one way. If you expect it the way it's always been, and then you didn't get that. That's all.
Well, here's what I like. Yeah. Nick Trujillo.
Yeah, everybody does. How about that?
He's got breakaway speed. Yeah, I mean, I thought he was fast. I didn't think he was that fast. He outran a couple of guys after he caught the ball. I like Devin Dampier. That's as good a quarterback as we've had at New Mexico, and since maybe, I don't know, he can make all the throws. He can throw deep. I liked what they were working on. I liked that we have some talent on defense, but it's, again, hard to tell because the defense goes against that offense all the time, and the offense goes against that defense, so they know the weaknesses. And if they want to exploit them, they can. I think you're going to see the defense step up a lot when he gets his guys, and the transfer portal is still open. And there were some guys, I thought that there might be some actual sandbagging going on. Did Noah Avenger play? I didn't. Somebody said he did, somebody said he didn't. And so there you go. And that's probably the best thing. Nobody really knew who was who.
Yeah. All right. So you had a good time out there and you like what you saw. It's good to hear, and I appreciate you checking in.
I'm very excited about Lobo football. I really think they're going to do well, and I think Bronco has done one thing that was the most important thing, and that is to establish a culture of work and accountability. And for some people, that's bad. So that's why they want to leave. And, I wondered what was going to happen with Bill. And I guess in the day of NIL, somebody can reach out and say, hey, I can get you $500,000 if you come to Ole Miss.
Yeah, and I guess you took, you got a little, I didn't realize you get paid to go on your visits. So you got a little money from Washington. He got a little money from Arizona. And now he's getting a bunch more money from Ole Miss. And see where he is, but he's capitalizing on it, certainly. All right, man. Appreciate the call. Be well.
Okay, thank you.
Rudy called at 505-246-0610. So I guess I'm learning about that, JJ. So I guess in Bill's case, he got some NIL money somewhere in the area of, I'm hearing $10,000-ish from UNM. Started spring practice, went up to Washington, did get a little NIL money. Did you know you get paid to go on a visit now? And I guess that's been going on for years.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I guess now you're getting paid to go on the visit. And so I guess he got some money up there, and then was down in Arizona for a while and went through some of their spring and got paid there, and going to get paid more at Ole Miss. And was here showing off his new ice.
Jealous.
I mean,
usually it's like, here's a hat and a sweatshirt, and
take a picture.
Want to come eat in the cafeteria,
right? Here's our look. It's a whole new world, I imagine. But I guess that's not all that new, from what I'm starting to learn. All right, 505-246-0610. That's where we are today. 888-922-0610. You can get in on. Oh, look, we've been in a lot of places. We've been in the NBA playoffs. We've got draft coming up. We've got the issue with Jaden Daniels' agent not happy with the Commanders. Scotty Scheffler won this morning. What's a greater feat? Scotty Scheffler winning 4 out of 5, or Tiger winning 6 out of 7. But let me give you the caveat. Okay, well, 6 out of 7 is better than 4 out of 5, Jeff. No, I got that. But 2 of Scotty Scheffler's, and both when Tiger did it in 06, 07, Tiger won 6 out of 7. He won those 6, and the 7th was a tie for second. Scheffler, same thing. He's won 4, tied for second, 1 stroke out. But Scheffler won the Players and the Masters. Does that count for a little more? 505-246-0610, and you're ringing the phones. We'll get back to you next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Last year, you gave us books, and we gave you beer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Yes.
Would he take
He is your number one rated wide receiver.
Would he take a Buckeye?
Yes.
He's a Michigan man. He didn't just coach there. He played there. I mean, does he take him?
I'm sure he had some Buckeyes on his 49er squad.
Maybe. No. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. Jeffrey, thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal. Good morning.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Life's grooving.
Nice. Hey, I went to the spring game. I hadn't been to one of those in a long time.
Yeah, how was that?
And it was nice. You know, I heard you saying that someone said that they'd been going forever and had a miserable experience.
Yeah,
go figure. So I didn't mind that. I mean, someone had a miserable experience at a Lobo event. Ooh, breaking. So I particularly enjoyed it. I mean, obviously I think the offense was kind of the star of the game, and they made some plays and they kind of leveled off towards the end. But the one thing that I saw that I liked, even though the defense, you know, was they weren't getting torched. They were just getting a little bit outplayed. When they made tackles, That's what I liked, whether it was open field or getting in the backfield or at the line. I didn't see a lot of broken tackles, and that's something that has plagued us for a while. So I was encouraged by what I saw. I mean, does that translate into wins during the regular season? I don't know. I just went out there to have a good time, see our new coach, see our new players, sit in the sunshine. You know, eat a taco, have a cool beverage,
celebrate
and just support the
420
team.
with the, so it was the 20th, right? Celebrate 420 with the Lobos.
Hey, exactly. And so the majority of the people that I saw that I was around, I mean, and I was kind of there in the mix where all the people were, I didn't really hear anybody saying they were having a horrible time or that it was horrible. I heard some people saying they wished more concessions were open or things like that. But as far as the team goes, I think people were excited. And hey, man, it's a spring game in New Mexico. Sorry, somebody went home disappointed.
No, I like that a lot. All right, man. I appreciate the perspective. Thank you.
Later.
I see, and I if you send them in, I'm gonna most of the time, not all the time. I'm gonna try to give you the correspondence if you take the time to send me something. I want to get your voice heard. But I'm glad to hear that there are more people that are coming out and saying, no, man, it was a good time out there. I liked what I saw. What'd you expect? So it was good. It was good. All right, 505-246-0610. So the draft stuff's really starting to get interesting to me. There's an anonymous NFL coach who told CBS Sports, this is Garrett Podell on CBS, saying that Jaden Daniels is a no-brainer pick. Not for the Commanders. He said number one for the Bears. He said it's a no-brainer to me. He's the best guy in the draft. What if the Bears come out and stun the world? They won't, right?
No, I don't think you're playing that many games. Like, this is one where I think it's close. I think Jaden Daniels is a legit number 2, and I could understand if you say, hey, when it comes to grading a prospect, I think he's the best one coming out of college. Like, to me, that's not crazy talk, comparing him to Caleb Williams, because we're talking a guy that's 6'4", can make all the throws, has Lamar Jackson-like athleticism, which you don't say that about a lot of prospects just because they can run.
Yeah.
But you do with this one because he does have those traits, and he's actually a better passer coming out than Lamar Jackson was. So Lamar Jackson grew into that, and now for Jaden Daniels, he has that skill and he can grow into continue being a presence in the pocket. And I think Chicago has made it known. They got one quarterback in for a visit. It's Caleb Williams, and that's where they're going.
Will you mark this so we can have this conversation in 3 years? I think Jaden Daniels may be better in the long run than Caleb Williams. And I think Caleb Williams has all the tangibles. Size, speed, arm, I'm not questioning that. I question the intangible, and maybe it's totally unfair, the hunger piece, the entitlement piece. I wonder, and I haven't done all the sit-down interviews with the young man, and the responses from those seem to be that he's graded out pretty well on those. But I look at these other guys, and there's almost more of a hunger there.
I think that's just perception, not reality.
Very well could be.
Because just because he went to USC?
No, it's a few things. It's the dad, a little bit. It's the comment after the Cotton Bowl. Yeah, none of us want to be in the Cotton Bowl. And I'm like, dude, it's the freaking Cotton Bowl. Like, everybody kind of wants to play that. But I understand where bowl games are for guys at the very top of the draft. I'm well.
Well, I think then you, on the flip side, you could look at say Caleb Williams on making an appearance on the Pivot podcast saying that he wants to leave a legacy like Tom Brady and be in one place 20 years, and he'd be happy if that place was Chicago.
Yeah, let's see how that works.
Come.
Yeah, that's the right thing to say.
So it's, and we are also at the point where we have overanalyzed everything.
That's what happens right now.
You're seeing stories pop up on Twitter, and it's like, well, Jaden Daniels, he 23% of the time he's taking a sack when the only other prospects that has ever happened with are A, B, C, and D, and it's like, okay, like we have our stuff, but at some point in time, just take your step back and what kind of football player do you think the person can be? And I think with Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels it's those two, ... the rest. And could those other guys be good? Absolutely, because this is an inexact science. It's where you go. It's your coaching staff. It's the talent around you. That, to your point, the hunger of the individual. Because there's also a lot of good quarterbacks that just went through really bad situations and never got another chance because of that. But I'm actually really intrigued because this isn't. When we think of Chicago, and we think it's a mess, but I'm actually really impressed with how they were able to set things up for Caleb Williams. Yeah, they would have. Because they're not a traditional number 1 overall pick team. Now, they're not great because they would have had, they have number 9. That's their original pick. But to go in, all right, they are acknowledging they did not do Justin Fields a solid at all. And so after they traded Justin Fields, they went out, they brought in Keenan Allen because they know Keenan Allen's not there for the long run, but Keenan Allen is there, a great veteran wide receiver for your rookie quarterback, along with DJ Moore. Brought in a veteran, DeAndre Swift. And they are setting a foundation that a lot of number 1 picks don't get to go into.
I think Keenan Allen's perfect for what they set up. You put him with DJ Moore and Cole Kmet. They got a running game. Yes, they hung Justin Fields out to dry, and they know it. And it's a new GM, and they're going to try to make this right. And if I'm a quarterback going into the league, and I got Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, dude, look what they've set up.
I like it for both these guys. And it's a rarity.
The other one?
Jaden Daniels, if he goes to Washington.
Jahan Dotson and
Terry McLaurin. Catches passes from everyone. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter who's been throwing passes the last few years. And it's very similar. Who'd they bring in? Austin Eckler. Mm-hmm. That is a phenomenal voice on the offense in that room to help a young quarterback.
No, I agree with you. Both of them are not going into horrible situations like Bryce Young did. Like I don't know if Bryce Young's any good. He was last year's number 1. He went to Carolina. I don't know. He looks.
Yeah, their offseason was like, hey, Bryce, we got you.
Nothing. Adam Thielen.
Thielen.
Yeah, that means nothing. I mean, Adam Thielen's great in his role. He always has been great in his role. And what else do they have? Washington, to your point, they brought in Austin Eckler to go with Brian Robinson, who was really good. Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Jamison Crowder's there. Zach Ertz signed there. That's a veteran tight end. No, a guy on the back end.
Adults in the room.
Yeah. Yep. Adults in the room is right. 100%. And that's where Jaden Daniels is going to go. Bryce Young went in. Look, he looked, I can't recall a quarterback to me, never mind a first overall pick, looking so small, so... And you look at him in Alabama, and it's like, that's not the same dude, is it?
I know.
And
they didn't even give the head coach a full year.
No, they gave him like 7-8 games. All right, you're out. Because it got so much better after that. I almost feel bad for him. Now, I don't think he's that good at this level. I don't think he's going to be a guy that gets there, right? Like C.J. Stroud is already there. And I feel bad for him because, all right, you're a first-round pick and you're going to be considered a flop. Like, honestly, who's better, him or Zach Wilson?
I don't think there's an answer to that question.
I don't think there is either. Right? I mean, and Zach Wilson was number 2 overall, if I'm not mistaken, by the Jets. Right? Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I feel bad for him in that situation because there's nothing around him. But JJ, he just looks small and looks like this isn't going to work. Now, you put him behind an offensive line that's getting him swallowed up, and you give him no weapons. Yeah, he's going to look that way. If I put him on the 49ers, would he look different? Yeah, probably. Because Brock Purdy isn't very big. But he looks a hell of a lot bigger, doesn't he, when he's got weapons? I just got a text from Jeffrey, said, hey, are you going to talk about the Lobos' new guy, the guard that the Lobos got? Sure, we'll talk about C.J. Nolan. what it means. And there is a report out that Jamal Mashburn Jr. has decided where he's going to play next. It's on the opening drive. It's coming up when we come back on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
Last year, you gave us books, and we gave.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to
report on 24/7 Sports this morning. They're usually pretty good. This is former Lobo, Jamal Mashburn Jr. is going to commit to Temple if he hasn't already. Temple of the American Athletic Conference, Philadelphia school. He's had a great basketball history, so it's an interesting spot for him and good for him. And I like I told you earlier, I firmly believe Mash can have a terrific senior year. I think he's going to go somewhere and be really, really good. But we'll see. We'll see. 505-246-0610 if you want to come in today. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck, Lobo basketball, the men's team. Nothing on the women yet. Have they signed anybody? Or am I just been out last week and missed?
No official announcements.
Okay. Lobo men. haven't lost nearly as much as many other programs. Richard Pitino's been able so far. It's the 22nd of April. Portal closes May 1. Been able to keep it together. But they did get a player over the weekend. C.J. Nolan. Transfer from North Texas. Initially, coming out of high school, was a 4-star recruit. Went to Oklahoma. Played there 2 years. Was named Big 12 All-Freshman team in 2022. He will be a 4th-year senior with 1 year of eligibility. So he came in after COVID. So we have the COVID years now? Are we done? 4th-year senior, 2021.
Yep, it's getting there.
So we're not going to have like 6, 7, 8-year guys anymore?
Not unless there is an injury.
And they get like the medical red shirts. So we'll have 1 year left. He was in town evidently this past weekend. He put it on the social media that he is committed to being a Lobo. 88 games in his first 3 seasons of college basketball. At North Texas this last year, he started in 20 of their 29 games. He averaged almost 11 points per game. Over the last 5 games, including the conference tournament and 2 NIT games, he was averaging over right about 16 points a game. Club finished 19-15. They were 10-8 in the AAC. Went to the second round of the NIT. They fell to Seton Hall, who won the whole thing. JJ, this feels like a guy that's 6'4", is a guy who will come in and maybe be able to score, defend on the perimeter, gives you a little bit more size at the guard position. Certainly a lot of experience, and it feels like the upside is really, really nice where, you come and see a guy develop and surrounded by the talent that we expect to be there, and this feels like a really good addition.
Yeah, you're looking for that shooting pop from the perimeter. You hope that True Washington, Donovan can take a step forward in those regards. You know how good they are at slashing, getting into the lane, scoring the basketball. But you do need some more perimeter shooting. And guard like Nolan coming in, that one of the things that Richard Pitino has talked about, and we've heard it from players of the last few years, they're very honest about the roles. And coming in, there's minutes to be played at shooting guard.
So here's what you got, and it feels like, I don't want to say this will be it because you got a long way to go, but it feels like if you went to play tomorrow, you're one of the few teams in America that have a starting lineup. Donovan Dent and True Washington in the backcourt, Mustafa Amsil at the 3, and then Nelly Jr. Joseph and JT Toppin up front with Braden Appelhans and Quentin Webb coming off the bench, and now you have Nolan. You got freshmen coming in, right? 2 freshmen, including Jovan Milicevic, who is a big guy coming in. The portal will close on the 1st. So, look, you're not home yet, but you're in a pretty good spot. Cade Dotson's 6'2" out of Beaumont High School or Beaumont United High School in Texas. You feel like there's something there. And then, of course, you got, a big guy in Milicevic. They're in a good spot right now as we sit here today, right? As good as probably most.
Absolutely.
Watch the portal over the weekend a little bit. San Diego State lost Micah Parrish to Ohio State. Already got $400,000 in NIL money. I feel it's a loss for San Diego State, but I don't feel like it's a huge loss. You with me on that? I mean, he was good. He was on the national championship runner-up team.
That's one you tip your cap and say, good luck, young man. Congrats on getting $400,000.
Yeah, go get paid. Yeah, and that's kind of what I see. I didn't see a lot of other movement over the weekend with Mountain West teams. Did you? And I have heard almost nothing. Oh, no, I did see this. Actually, I didn't see this at all. This happened on Saturday. Nick Boyd went from Florida Atlantic to San Diego State, which is 2 Final Four teams from a year prior. He's a 6'3" sophomore guard, was a 3-star coming out of New York, Don Bosco Prep. But he went to San Diego State. We'll watch this whole thing as it goes, but you expect a lot of movement and starting to see some signing. Nothing on the women, though, huh?
Nothing official yet.
All right. There's not a lot of players on that roster right now. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Emails coming in, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsabq.com. As the playoffs go on, Joel Embiid is questionable for game 2. Did you see the story about the French are just disgusted that he's not playing for their Olympic team?
In Paris?
Yeah. So the Olympics are in Paris.
Summer Olympics coming up.
Now, he's not French, although he never lived in France. He moved directly from Cameroon to Florida. That's where he played high school ball, but he does speak French fluently. And evidently, he was reportedly interested in playing for the French national team.
Should Cameroon be more upset?
Yes. Do they have a team?
Joel Embiid and 4 dudes.
Yeah, you, me, and him, and we're good. So supposedly there's a letter that Embiid wrote. He went all the way to the top. He went to Emmanuel Macron, the French president, and he expressed his desire to play for France. He made it. I want to play. So he asked to become a naturalized citizen. That letter was recently leaked, and he was made a citizen. He's got French citizenship, although he's never lived there, in 2022.
That's fantastic.
And then he ended up playing for the United States, and people are pissed. So the president of the French Basketball Federation is a guy named Jean-Pierre Citoyen. Team USA with him, who can beat you? Come on, nobody. This is an easy way for him to get an Olympic medal. But there's another dude, and do you remember Frederick Weiss?
Who cares how you get your Olympic medal? Of all the debates we have in sport, I think when you think, oh, you want a gold medal, the last thing we're going to do is, he didn't take the right path to winning a gold medal. He took the easy way out.
The Kevin Durant route.
Who does he think he is, KD?
Right. Do you remember Vince Carter's dunk over Frederick Weiss in the Olympics in, I think it was 2021?
It is one of the best highlights you will ever see.
Where he just crotched the guy, right? I mean, he literally just went
Jumped
over him.
A large human being.
Yeah, a guy who was, by the way, picked 15th in the NBA draft.
In the game, in play.
Yeah.
It's not a dunk contest, in play.
Yeah, he literally jumped over this dude, rubbed his, They call it le dunk de la mort. That's what it means in French. That translates to the dunk of death. That's what they call it. Frederick Weiss is pissed. Quote, I consider this boy a great player as much as he is a dirty guy. I hate him for the things that he did. I think he doesn't have any respect for France and also for all the people who are asking for a French passport and don't get it. And under the pretext that he is a great athlete, he got it. I find it scandalous. I find it embarrassing. I don't care about his excuses because they are his words, and his words mean nothing. I want to hear it in French. I want to hear the guy yell it like enraged in French. Obviously, it's a lot bigger deal to them than it is to you.
You're just happy, like, yep, we have Joel Embiid too now. Team USA.
Yeah. He wasn't done, dude. So like, I mean, he wasn't done. He wants to ban Embiid from the Olympics. In fact, don't even allow him into the country when they begin. I would take away from him the French nationality, and I would ban him from entering France. You will not play in the Olympics. You will come to the airport with Team USA, and we will say, you don't have the right to enter the territory. Go to your home. You are Cameroonian. You are American. You are not French. Go away. End quote.
Terrible take.
That's his.
Did not. What are the other athletes in?
It's his. Look,
you got Victor Wembanyama, man. Chill out.
He got leapt over by American in the past. Evidently,
now, if you had Joel Embiid and Victor Wembanyama, probably feeling
they'd be pretty
good.
good.
Medal.
Yes,
of course.
It's kind of interesting, right? Like the whole naturalization.
But if you're in Joel Embiid, you're just playing the field.
Did you know that the FIBA rules allow each country to have one naturalized player on their roster? So that rule theoretically gives USA basketball the bit of advantage because their basketball players play in the United States and therefore have easier access to it. And so I guess he's a natural. How many citizenships does he have? Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, Tim Duncan all played for Team USA as naturalized citizens. And B, like all of them, lives and works in the United States. His son was born here. He chose Team USA, he says, because he wants to honor his son's home country. Embiid was not born in the United States, but he says he's American. He has a stronger connection to the United States and France. This is going to be a big deal, dude. I promise you, as we get closer to the Olympics this summer, this is going to be a big conversation, at least amongst some.
Yes.
And you and I are going to go, yeah, whatever, because I don't care either. But Vice, the guy who got dunked to death on, they are angry and they are mad. And I mean, why just stop and beat, man? Like, stop the whole USA while you're like, Germany just won the World Cup, right? They're pretty tough. Ban them too. Canada, Slovenia, Serbia. I mean, just be safe. Make sure you get a medal.
They just focus on 3-on-3 basketball.
Nikola Jokic can't get in. I don't know. We got Jimmer.
Jimmer Fredette, baby.
I love you, Jimmer. All right, we'll wrap it up. Everything you got to know as you go through your day and all the breaking news for this morning. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Hour.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. I can show that you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly
it wasn't all about the Banana Savannahs. I mean, the Savannah Bananas. United got a big win over the weekend. 3-2. They beat North Carolina Football Club on a extra time goal. They're rolling, dude.
Talking about a team towards the top of the table.
Third place in the Western Conference table right now. So they got a big win. Isotopes will be back home tomorrow, Oklahoma City, after splitting a series in El Paso last week. What do you got to know as you go through your day? What's happening this morning? It looks like Jamal Mashburn, according to 24/7 Sports, is going to play for Temple next year. Lobos got to recruit. C.J. Nolan in the transfer portal from North Texas, initially at Oklahoma, is going to be a Lobo next year. He'll have 1 year of eligibility left. You get hoops tonight. Lakers and Denver will be the late game. Start you off with Orlando and Cleveland, then Philadelphia and the Knicks, and then the Lakers and Denver. This is big, isn't it? I mean, everybody's watching this just because it's the names. I don't know if it'll be the best series, although it should be pretty good. But the home teams are undefeated, both in the Stanley Cup playoffs and the NBA playoffs so far, right? A road team has not yet won?
That is correct.
At some point, a road team will win. Who's going to be the first one? Will it happen tonight? Orlando at Cleveland, Philly at New York, Lakers at Denver, National Hockey League. I got Toronto at Boston, Islanders at Carolina, Vegas at Dallas, and the Kings at Edmonton.
I think Vegas-Dallas is game 1.
Yep.
Actually.
Yeah, those are all games, except for the Islanders.
Yeah. I think the Lakers or Sixers could take it tonight.
You like the Lakers tonight?
I do. Like, this is one where you're going to see a better second half of LeBron. Austin Reeves is going to be more involved as opposed to D'Angelo Russell late. AD and Jokic, they're just going to cancel each other out. Like, AD is going to get his, just like Jokic is. This was... I do think that these games still are going to be ridiculously tight. That's what both Michael Malone and Darvin Ham, the head coaches, were saying afterwards. Can we talk about real quick? It was the first game on Saturday. Probably no one was watching. They're like, oh, yeah, the NBA playoffs started. Orlando scored 83 points in a playoff basketball game. They had a trio of Gary Harris, Markelle Fultz, and Joe Ingles play 60 minutes of basketball together. They combined to score 1 point.
Wow. Markelle Fultz. Was he a former number 1 pick?
Was for the 76ers.
Out of the University of Washington. Oh. Wow. Well,
that's impressive.
Did Dallas have 30 points was it halftime yesterday? That can't be right, can it? I know I think I saw that, but I Dallas yesterday against the Clippers at halftime had 30 points. They were down 66-30. They scored 8 points in the second quarter. The Dallas Mavericks with Luka freaking Doncic. How does that happen? Kyrie Irving.
I was super impressed with the Clippers, and James Harden has been phenomenal in that role.
Yeah.
And it's his time. It's, you have a roster with, Paul George. Everyone just thinks he's a failure all the time, and he's actually been pretty good in the playoffs the last few years. But James Harden trying to come together, Russell Westbrook off the bench. And so there's a ton of experience there and a lot of chips on shoulders.
If you buy into that part, and we had this conversation earlier, I said to you, I thought Indiana looked like a young team in their first playoffs, right? And, there's a little of that with Oklahoma City. They escaped last night. But if you buy into the experience, now there's not a lot of winning in the playoffs there, except for Kawhi, and Kawhi didn't play. But you look at all the experience there, to your point.
They've knocked out Luka twice in the postseason.
Well, dude, they scored, and they made it a 12-point game. Like, they came back and had a big fourth quarter, and they made it a 12-point game. 8 points in an NBA quarter. 30.5 by an NBA team? It's astonishing.
If you said that was the Magic on Saturday, I'd be like, okay, yes. No. It was the Dallas Mavericks.
It was astonishing. All right, else, what do you got to know? There was sports this morning. Scotty Scheffler won at Harbour Town. It is Scheffler's 4th victory in his last 5 starts on the PGA Tour. 2 of those were big ones, one of the Masters and the PGA Championship. I'm sorry, the Players' Championship. Last time this was done was 06-07. Tiger did it at the end of the 06, the beginning of 07 season. He won 6 out of 7 tournaments. Both of these guys, the one tournament they did not win, they finished tied for second. Scheffler was 1 stroke back. And I asked you the question earlier. Is Scheffler's more impressive because he won the Players and the Masters in there, as opposed to just, winning the tournaments in Hawaii? And I mean,
a major tournament
and the Players. So this is the 5th major.
Well, if John Rahm would show up, it would be.
But he could have. I mean, he opted to take the money and run. Now he wants to come back. Let me do you one better.
Well, especially to come off winning a major tournament.
Yeah.
And everything that goes into it.
Oh, and his wife's pregnant. His wife's ready to pop it.
And he admittedly was like, I'm exhausted. And he just goes out there and wins another golf tournament.
5 strokes. 4 strokes. Nelly Corda's even better than him. She won the Chevron yesterday, her 5th straight. 2 other players in the history of the LPGA Tour have won 5 in a row. You're like, yeah, whatever, Jeff. They're like 2 of the 5 players you've heard of. Nancy Lopez in the 70s and Annika Sorenstam. That's how good Nelly Corda is. So take a look at her as you watch. All right. And then the other thing that people are going to be talking about, I do believe, is Jaden Daniels' agent coming out and saying he wasn't very happy with the Washington Commanders, not just having Jaden Daniels in, but having Jaden Daniels in as one of 4 quarterback prospects. They felt slighted by that, and we'll see what that means. I don't think it's going to mean anything. Lobos do get a recruit, CJ Nolan in, and I think I told you about that. And I think those are my highlights for you, man. That's what you got to know as you go through the day. I think you're set, and you're going to have everything that people are going to talk about as you hit it. This is interesting. Tyrese Maxey questionable for the Sixers tonight. They may. Embiid's playing, or he's trying to play tonight.
Embiid's going to go tonight.
All right. Tyrese Maxey's
don't want
sick.
him dunking off the backboard.
Well, no.
Hurting his knee.
Maxey is sick. So he'll be questionable as you go tonight. As you place your bets, be careful. And just want you to have all your information as you get through your day. One other golf thing. I know there's a lot of golf, and we're talking history, and there's a lot of other stuff going on, but there's some crazy stuff. Did you see this young man named Miles Russell? He is 15 years old, and he made the cut at the Korn Ferry Tour. The Korn Ferry is the AAA. It was the old Nike Tour, there was another name on it. What was it? Whatever it was. He's the reigning American Junior Golf Association Player of the Year. He closed with a 5 under 66. He finished 6 shots out. So he finished in the top 25 of a pro event. And these are grown-ass men. A lot of the guys that you're watching on tour now were on this tour last year. This is no little country club championship kind of a thing. This is insane. He was an amateur, so he didn't get to pocket any of the money.
Should have been pro, bro.
I know. And at 15.
You don't need to be an amateur anymore.
But
NIL.
He qualified for next week's event, which will be in Texas, by finishing in the top 25. We've seen 15-year-olds in tennis, right? I don't know that we've ever seen a 15-year-old in golf.
Is there a moment in that final round he could have been like, no, I just want to turn pro right now? Like, please.
Seriously, can I sign an agent right now? Because, and you know what, the Korn Ferry 25th place tour, I don't know what you're going to make.
It's more than
10 grand
you're getting
probably
for your allowance for taking out the trash and cleaning your room.
That's probably about, I'm going to guess about 10 grand-ish.
He doesn't want to pocket 10 grand.
No, I could. I'd be all right with that too. Don't get me wrong. But it's kind of amazing just watching some of these young guys come up. I've been watching a lot of the PGA Tour, and people say, I don't know who that is. And I tell you all the time, just because you don't know.
Well, Nils Shipley was one of the biggest stories. The Masters, the amateur.
Mm-hmm.
Go get that money, though, man.
Just because you don't know about something doesn't make it good. And what's Nelly? What's my guy's name at Cincinnati Red? The Reds.
Ellie De La Cruz?
Thank you, Ellie De La Cruz. I don't know, middle of last year, you didn't know who Ellie De La Cruz was. He was pretty good. Guys come up, and, there was a time a year and a half ago you didn't know who Scotty Scheffler was. Last I checked, he's pretty good, too. Thanks to Ned James. He stopped by and shared a little knowledge with us today. Appreciate that. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. Two Men On comes your way at 4 o'clock. And then we're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio. You want to start at 8 a.m.?
7 works.
Oh, yeah. That's what time we do this? Well, where I'll be, it'll be 8. Does that make sense? Yeah, you want to do it 7?
So I'll prepare an hour.
I mean, whatever. No, I'll be here at 7 o'clock. Great work today. Adrian, great job. Big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
I'm going out, Grandma.
When are you coming home?
I'll be home late. Don't wait up, okay?
Be careful, mijito.
Love you, Grandma.
Mijito. He's a good man. Sometimes he just makes bad decisions. I tell him, mijito, cuidado. Be careful. You might hurt someone. He doesn't listen.
Stop, okay?
Hello. It's me.
Hi, mijo. Where are you?
Dale was drinking and driving. I need you to come and get me, okay? Please, Grandma? Can you just come and get me? Grandma?
Leave him in jail.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit International Protective